Greetings, people on the internet. This is SSR3 with another character origins video. This time, I'm getting you ready for the upcoming DCCU movie, The Suicide Squad, coming out in August. But first, have you ever wondered how the villains of the DC universe are always getting out of jail? Well, some of them have been recruited into Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad, a secret Black Ops team working for the government that goes on potential suicide missions in exchange for its members receiving less jail time. The squad was created during the Silver Age of comics, originally a public government team meant to replace the Justice Society of America after they retired. But after an incident involving American interests that led to the death of several soldiers, Amanda Waller, former agent, formed the current version of the squad, which is mainly supervillains and anti-heroes. And to keep each member of the squad in line, a nanobomb is implanted into the back of their necks. Over the years, many villains and anti-heroes have been in the squad, including Poison Ivy and even Doomsday. I have no idea how they managed to get a nanobomb on him or keep him in line, but I'm very interested in knowing how. Now, let's go over the characters. First, we got Margot Robbie playing Harleen Quinzel, aka Harley Quinn. Harley's unique as she wasn't originally in the comics. She was created exclusively for Batman the Animated Series in the 90s and became so popular that she was put in the comics. She is the ex-girlfriend and former sidekick of Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker. As shown in the Season 4/New Batman Adventures episode Mad Love, she was a young psychologist in Arkham Asylum who tried to use the Joker to further her own career, only to fall in love with him and become his sidekick. Despite the Joker's constant abuse and many falling outs with him, she remained loyal to him for many years. During her time in Gotham, she became best friends with Poison Ivy and Catwoman, even helping the two fight off a reanimated version of Black Mask during the Blackest Night event, which basically involved a Green Lantern Corps and zombies. In the New 52, which is where she first becomes a member of the squad, her origin and her appearance were altered from the show. While it's mostly the same, there are many differences, such as her always being a little crazy when she was a kid and having a stuffed beaver that's possessed by the spirit of an ex-boyfriend of hers. I know, weird. And, as part of her new origin, part of the reason she fell for the Joker in the first place was because he had killed the man who had killed her father years earlier. He also made her have her skin bleached the same way his was. Currently in the comics, aside from being a member of the squad, she's an anti-hero in her own solo series. She lives in Coney Island and leads her own gang of crime-fighting Harley Quinns. Now, she normally fights with a mallet or a baseball bat, and pretty much any weapon she can get her hands on, plus various gadgets. She's a master of disguise, even able to disguise herself as a cop, and a while back, Poison Ivy gave Harley an immunity to all Earth-based poisons, along with enhanced strength, speed, agility, and a very small healing factor, but not nearly as good as Deadpool's. And, like many of the characters I'm going over today, she's an expert at hand-to-hand. Next we got Will Smith playing Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot. And personally, I'm glad Will's going to be playing him because he's one of my favorite actors. So, Floyd Lawton is one of DC's most legendary assassins. In his very first appearance, he actually tried to replace Batman as a hero of Gotham. After his family was murdered due to gang violence, he became a sharpshooter. But he didn't actually become an assassin until after spending some time with both the Marines and the League of Assassins. His origin and confirmed family members have been changed a lot over the years, so currently his only known relative is his young daughter. He is an expert marksman with guns, wrist gauntlets, and rocket launchers. Next we got Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. You may remember her as one of the villains from Justice League Unlimited. Both in this movie and in the New 52, she's a lot younger and she's become a lot thinner. A former member of a Black Ops team, Team 7, and a former leader of a group Argus, she leads the squad and is extremely confident, manipulative, and a skilled fighter and marksman. When she's not in charge of a squad, it's Rick Flag Jr., who I'll get to soon. Next, we got Jai Courtney as George Digger Harkness, aka Captain Boomerang, or just Boomerang as he'll be referred to in the movie. One of the Flash's most popular villains and a member of the Anti-Flash team, the Rogues. Digger was the illegitimate son of toy maker W. W. Wiggins and an Australian housewife, and Digger was hated by his stepfather, who always knew that he wasn't the real father. As he grew up, Digger found that he was adept at throwing boomerangs and decided to start using them to commit crimes. After this, his mother sent him to America to meet his real father, and he got his supervillain name when he tried to become a spokesperson for his dad's toy line. Though he tried to make a publicity stunt with Flash that resulted in him going back to jail and officially made himself a super criminal. In the comics, he briefly became a White Lantern, which is similar to Green Lantern Corps, only instead of controlling will, they're powered by life itself. Similar to Green Arrow and Batman, he uses trick boomerangs, which each have unique gadgets like exploding, explosive gel, ice, etc. And he's somehow able to harness the Speed Force, which is what gives most characters in the DC universe their super speed, allowing him to go into brief speed bursts. Next, we got Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. There are actually 3 Rick Flags, and I think the one in the movie is going to be based on Rick Flag Jr. Rick Flag was originally going to be played as Tom Hardy, the guy who played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, but there were complications due to his schedule. Rick Flag Jr. is the son of the original Suicide Squad leader Rick Jones Sr. back when it was a public team. Rick Flag became the new leader after his father died, but a mission gone wrong in Cambodia led to the team being pursued by a Yeti. As a result, one of the members died while another became the evil cyborg Koshé the Darkness. Eventually, Rick Flag joined Waller Squad as a field leader, but he hates working with criminals and killers and refuses to be anything like them. Next, we got Cara Delevingne as June Moon, aka the Enchantress. Originally a normal teenage girl, she found a secret passage in the Terror Castle. She entered a room holding a demon named Zamor. She was told that she would become a powerful heroic witch by saying the word Enchantress. Very similar to Captain Marvel / Shazam, and the demon gave her her powers. She could now transform from June to Enchantress, and Zamor promised her that she'd become all-powerful during a certain alignment involving the moon. However, Supergirl had to move the moon in one of her adventures, so the alignment never occurred. As a result, June went mad. The Enchantress is basically an evil personality in June, who's so adept at magic, she even gives Zatanna a hard time. Next we got Adewale Akinnuoye Agbaje, and forgive me if I said that wrong, as Waylon Jones, aka Killer Croc, one of Batman's oldest enemies. This will actually be his first time in the squad, as far as I've looked into it. So Waylon was born with a genetic mutation, like the X-Men, that gives him reptilian skin, sharp claws, sharp teeth, and super strength. He had a lot of trouble fitting in at school, and on his 18th birthday officially became a murderer. He started out as an alligator wrestler in a traveling circus, but started becoming a criminal when the circus went under, and became one of Gotham's most premier crime bosses. He currently rules the Gotham sewers with his own personal army of people he rescued. He has all the abilities of a crocodile, and even has enhanced speed, and he also has a healing factor, as he managed to recover from a fight with Bane, where, similar to Batman, he broke his back as well. Next we got Karen Fukuhara as Tatsu Yamashiro, aka Katana. I'm just gonna say it now, most versions of Tatsu rarely talk. She's been a member of the Outsiders, the Birds of Prey, the Justice League of America, and she's a longtime ally of Batman. From an early age, she chose to study both martial arts and the way of a samurai, and quickly became an expert fighter. Over the years, she befriended two brothers, Masao and Takeo Yamashiro, who both fell in love with her. Eventually, she chose to marry Masao. Once they announced their wedding plans, Takeo, wanting revenge, joined the Yakuza. Then things started taking a turn for worse, as Tatsu's parents died of mysterious causes, and Takeo used his position in the Yakuza to turn the couple's family against them. Despite this, the two still married and had twin boys. However, Takeo, now wielding the mystic Soul Taker sword, killed Masao, and their house was set on fire. Tatsu, in a duel to the death, managed to defeat Takeo and take the Soul Taker away from him, but was unable to save her children or kill Takeo. She vowed vengeance on Takeo and became a samurai, and became a vigilante, taking the name Katana. It was during the Brave and the Bold comic series that she met Batman, who took her under his wing when he founded the Outsiders, and she started to begin lining up. She is a master martial artist and swordswoman. The Soul Taker sword, which she uses, has the ability to capture the souls of anyone killed by it, and in Beware the Batman has the ability to take the souls of those even if they're still alive, and it allows Katana to communicate with those souls. Next we got Jay Hernandez as Chato Santana, or El Diablo. From the movie, he's going to be referred to as Diablo. He's actually the third person to call himself as Diablo, as El Diablo has been around for a long time, even in the Old West, as I'm pretty sure an ally of Jonah Hex. So Chato was a former gang member who was shot during a police bust. In the hospital, he met the original El Diablo, Lazarus Lane, who was in a coma. Yet somehow, Lazarus was able to transfer all his powers into Chato and then died. After a conflict with the heroes known as the Freedom Fighters, Chato decided to become a hero. He has fire manipulation powers that somehow involve his tattoos, as in the more he uses his fire powers, the more of his tattoos disappear. Next we got Adam Beach as Christopher Weiss, aka Slipknot. He's an old enemy of Firestorm, but is actually a very obscure villain. He worked at a chemical company for a while, until he discovered and created a special chemical that allowed ropes that he put them on to become unbreakable and able to stick to anyone. He first appeared as a mercenary hired by the 2000 Committee to kill Firestorm in a plot to kidnap Firestorm's ally Firehawk. And the first time he fought Firestorm, he managed to render Firestorm helpless using a rope made of rawhide, since Firestorm's powers don't work on organic material. And now, last but not least, we got Jay Leto as the Joker, Batman's arch-enemy and the Clown Prince of Crime. He has many origins, and no one knows which one's the real one, and he himself said that if he's going to have a story, it might as well be multiple choice. But his most popular origin comes from the Killing Joke storyline, which is going to be made into an animated movie, actually. So, in that story, he was a disgruntled employee at Ace Chemicals turned failing comedian who was struggling to support his pregnant wife. He was approached by two thieves and agreed to help them rob the Ace Chemicals. After the Joker's wife died in a freak kitchen accident along with the unborn child, he tried to back out of a crime but was pressured to continue. Donning his Red Hood costume, so that he would be mistaken for the leader of the criminals. The trio robbed the plant only for the criminals who hired him to be gunned down, and Joker was confronted by Batman. In desperation, he jumped into a vat of chemicals and escaped through a pipe, and that's how his skin got bleached, his hair became green, and his lips got stained red. After this, he became insane, or he always was insane. No one knows for sure if Joker's really insane or not. And he started his reign as one of the most dangerous criminals in Gotham. Like Harley, he's good with nearly all weapons and expert at hand-to-hand. He uses various gadgets, the most famous being his Joker Venom and his mechanical fake teeth, and he even has pain resistance. One time when Damian Wayne beat him with a crowbar, similar to how Joker beat Jason Todd, he was able to walk it off. He also has poison immunity, tainted blood, and resistance to the anti-hero the Spectre. Somehow the Spectre, both Jim Corrigan and Hal Jordan, were unable to infiltrate the Joker's mind for more than a few seconds before being cast out. Personally, I didn't really care for the first volume of the New 52 run of the comic, Suicide Squad, but I love the animated movie about the Squad, which is DCU Batman Assault on Arkham. I really hope that King Shark and Killer Frost show up in the movie because they were great in Assault on Arkham. The Squad has actually also appeared in Justice League Unlimited, Smallville, Arrow. And I heard a rumor that Ben Affleck Batman may show up in the movie himself. I hope that's true as well. Well, that's it for now. See ya!